Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 22 September 2015. I got a pretty cool from the sharpening bench video for you guys this morning. This is the little brother or little sister to the Grayman Satu. It's called the Dua. And if you look back a year or so ago, you saw my review on the Satu. And it's a knife that I had a lot of admiration for, but I just would never buy or carry because it was so doggone huge. And I've sort of been waiting with great anticipation for one of my sharpening customers to send me a Dua. And as luck would have it, I've had two sitting here for the last week or so. One for my customer from the UK, Lee, and oddly enough, this one is the property of Roland from Germany. And you guys will remember Roland. He is the guy who sent me a gift that pretty much took my breath away, that Puma Cougar fixed blade knife, discontinued and highly collectible, and I was just blown away. So when Roland contacted me wanting to have me work on the Grayman Dua that he ordered, I was so happy to do it. And it's been a real pleasure to have a couple of these in hand. Let's kind of go over what the knife is. First of all, Mike and Sue, who are Grayman Knives, are, from all indications, I've never bought a knife from them, but my customers who do just absolutely love them. It's like they cook these knives up in their kitchen, and they send them out with some pretty extravagant packaging. A bubble wrap baggie and this nice handwritten note. And this one's to Roland. May it serve you well. All the best. Mike and Sue, Grayman Knives. That's it. What a cool little company. And they really strive to serve our police officers, firefighters, and soldiers. They really, really have geared their company to serve those folks, and that is a very good thing. So here's the Dua, and it is a smaller knife by a lot than the Satu. It is a 3 3/16 inch blade with that sort of bayonet grind, flat ground from about 2/3 of its breadth down, and not too doggone thickly either. It's not super skinny, but this is a 17-degree secondary bevel you're looking at. So it's not the fattest knife in the world. It is made from 4mm stock, about 160 thousandths inches thick. The handle is .47 or 470 thousandths thick, so it's not a beast in hand, although it is sort of a chunk. It's sort of in that same size class as the Benchmade MPR, and a little bigger knife than that, I guess. But the handle's 4 1/4 inches, so overall length is what, 7 7/16 inches long. Fairly pocketable. It's got a long clip with a lot of retention. My only complaint about the clip is it could use a little more approach. If you're trying to put it in thick pants or jeans, it takes a little bit of a struggle to get it in there, but retention is very good. Action is very good. This is a knife on a bushing pivot, very similar to a Chris Reeve pivot, where the dimension of the knife clearance is set. The bushing goes up tight against both scales, and the width of the blade, or the thickness of the blade, and two bushings establish its clearance. And it's quite good. No blade play, but a free dropper. Now, one thing about Grayman Knives is that although they're machined very precisely, and they're a very well built knife, and this one is in, see if I can get you a shot of the steel logo. There you go, CPM 20 CV. There you go. You know, sometimes their stone wash is a little inconsistent, and you know, there's, after they stone wash the blade, there's still a little heat treat scale left in the roots of the jimping cuts. It's just how Graymans are. They're kind of a crude little beast of a knife. And you'll notice this one is not stock at the base of the edge in the ricasso area. I'll try to roll in a picture right here showing you what the knife looks like before my modification, so take a look at that. So what I do is I come in on the edge of my 1x30 belt sander and very, very carefully cut that sort of 45-degree angle, being very careful to leave the root of that radius alone, because that is where the closed stop pin rests. So if you obliterate that radius trying to create a new ricasso, you can cause some issues in the way the knife behaves when you close it. So what I try to do is just get enough of that angle on there so I clear the base of the plunge grind so it's sharpenable. And then you'll notice that after I sharpen it, that recurve that you see in most Graymans disappears, and I don't really think it's there by design, because if you look at the line of demarcation where the primary bevel starts, I don't think it's really designed to be a recurve. It just sort of happens in sharpening because of that big nasty heel. So generally when I get one of these in for sharpening, Satu or Dua, I suggest to the customer that we do that, and Roland was all too happy. I think his came out great. So let's talk about ergonomics of this knife. See how the jimping runs on the spine of the handle and the spine of the blade, and it's almost a little sway back right there. Just lets the thumb sit beautifully in the saber grip. Just super powerful right there. You can actually walk up on this knife a little bit. There's not really a forward choil per se, but even with the heel, you can still grip the knife in this grip pretty effectively. In the hammer grip, it's very good. In a draw cut grip, it's very good. In a reverse grip, it's very good. I think the Satu is actually a little better than the Dua, because the longer handle seems to position the hand a little better. And how about in the samurai grip, that pinch grip, it's good. You know, for a squarish handle without a lot of radiusing or chamfering, it's a pretty comfortable knife handle. Well thought out. I have noticed over the months and years that their factory edges don't come super sharp, so it's nice to get them to the sharpening bench when they're brand new like this one is. A little fat and stubby for an S-curve, but it is nice and sharp at 17 degrees per side secondary bevel and 20-degree micro. Will facilitate good touch-ups by Roland. Should be able to maintain this thing for a long time with that proper edge geometry. So if you kind of have liked the idea of the Grayman knife, but you thought, man, that Satu is just too big of a tank for me to carry around, look into a Dua. It's a very everyday carryable knife, and you're supporting a great American small business when you buy them. Great looking hardware. Just superb construction. You know, the only thing screwed into the titanium is the pocket clip. The body screws and pivot are all in nicely machined female cups. No lock bar insert. I do think the lock face is carburized, much like a Sabenza on the Grayman knives. Just completely devoid of any lock stick. And got what about 20% engagement. I might like to see a little more, but it's not going to slip off there or shear the lock face at that level of engagement, I don't think. Super cool. Pretty doggone good centering too. So this is on its way to Germany later on today. Roland, I thought you'd like to see it before it gets there, and I hope you enjoy it. That's all for this one, guys. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the Word and Roland's Dua are sharp